Hey guys, I figured we could take advantage of the break this week and talk about one of my favorite characters, Yuta, and his curse technique copy, as well as his domain expansion. Special thanks to Zachary Wills for requesting this video, and remember, if you'd like to see a character or a technique explained, leave a comment down below and maybe I'll get to it. And remember, these are not power scaling videos, I'm just trying to dumb it down in the simplest way for people like me who just want to know what the fuck is going on in JJK. Let's get into it. Yuta was stated to have an almost unlimited amount of curse energy. As of chapter 261, we get the official statement that Yuta is of the Fujiwara bloodline, meaning not only is he related to Gojo, but also one of Japan's big three curse spirits, Michizane Sugawara. In fact, Gojo explains that Yuta is actually from a higher family line, meaning that he has all the pedigree to become greater than the greatest. So, that explains where his almost unlimited curse energy originates, but what is he capable of doing with it? Well, even at a young age, his curse energy was so boundless that upon the death of his close friend, he turned her spirit into the special grade curse spirit, Rika. Before we talk about Yuta's actual curse technique and domain, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. Yuta has access to one of the most broken curse spirits / curse containers in the verse. If we're ignoring the original special grade Rika, then Yuta's current manifestation of C Rika, or container Rika, is on a level that is so unbridled, we are required to talk about it. You see, C Rika, while being a powerhouse and having immeasurable curse energy that is directly shared with Yuta, is also one of the largest containers in the JJK verse, which plays perfectly into Yuta's curse technique. She could rip open her chest, allowing Yuta to store or retrieve any number of cursed objects or tools. C Rika could be considered a walking Shinigami of Yuta's innate techniques, as she is instrumental in the execution of Yuta's domain expansion. What do I mean? Well, it's Rika's ability to copy curse techniques by consuming parts of other sorcerers, which allows for one of the conditions of Yuta's technique to be met without putting Yuta himself at harm. Real quick guys, if you are enjoying this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, as we're trying to grow the community here and every little bit helps. Thank you. First off, let's go ahead and talk about Yuta's innate technique, as it plays a heavy role in his domain expansion. Yuta's technique is called copy, and it gives him the incredibly rare ability to not only copy other curse techniques, but also copy those techniques that are strictly inherited through bloodlines. The most potent example of this being when he was not only able to copy Inumaki's cursed speech, but also improved upon it with the use of activating Rika to create a megaphone. One of the most broken and debated aspects of copy is his ability to reuse these techniques more than just once. However, we've seen Yuta employ Inumaki's cursed speech technique multiple times, so there's no reason to believe he can't successfully use techniques he's already stored within himself, or see Rika. Speaking of storage, as of chapter 261, we are finally given a full breakdown of how copy works. In the case of Kenjaku, as mentioned previously, he was able to allow Rika to consume Kenjaku, thus gaining the body hopping technique. We are also officially given the fact that Yuta has a 5-minute time limit to copy, as it's the time that he can fully manifest Rika. This also clearly showed us that Rika is the one consuming things and Yuta does not have to. One thing to note, it is interesting to see how Gege has written both of their protagonists, Yuta and Yuji, to be containers for curses or techniques. Some of the techniques that Yuta has used with copy or within his domain that were originally copied elsewhere include curse speech, sky manipulation, thin icebreaker, and the heavy hitters full output Jacob's Ladder and Sukuna's own shrine. To say this is a versatile technique would be an understatement. He is essentially what Kakashi should have been in Naruto, a full-on copy ninja. However, he has shown the ability to one-up everybody by actually improving upon these curse techniques. Yuta is a character that is steeped in his feelings. The more he feels for something or someone, the more his potential for curse technique output is going to come through. And there is no one in the JJK verse that Yuta has more affection for than C Rika. So when talking about his domain, we need to realize in reality, it is simply an extension of his innate technique that allows him to manifest C Rika. To activate authentic mutual love, Yuta gathers his curse technique in his ring and expands his domain. Upon activation, the domain domain is that of a barren land surrounded by crosses and katanas. Amazingly, each katana is in turn a reflection of a technique that Yuta has previously copied and can act as a sure hit or be used as a less lethal attack within the domain. There is seemingly an endless amount of katanas in the domain, and Yuta can pull as many as he needs in the battlefield. However, there are two critical conditions at play. The first being that every katana that Yuta pulls, minus the technique that he has pre-picked as his sure hit, is selected at random. And secondly, each katana can only be used once before it breaks. A really interesting fact about Yuta's domain is that it's simply a much larger reflection of his relationship with Rika. His domain is simply a barren storage for him to pull from, and Yuta shows his respect for this otherwise sad land by including the visuals of a mizuhiki, a traditional Japanese marriage knot. Another really interesting factor that we still haven't gotten a complete answer about is that Yuta has shown the one-off ability to allow others within his domain. Now, what I mean is that he's done this without putting them in danger of being hit by any of his sure hits. We saw this with Yuji and Rika. This is an insane feat on its own, but it truly shows how Yuta has mastered his curse technique and domain expansion to a level previously unseen. Yuta is absolutely a monster in the JJK verse and something special, but I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, as that pretty much sums up his curse technique and domain. Of course, if I missed something, please let me know. I love this little community that we've been able to build, and I really appreciate everyone that has taken the time to comment and engage with the videos. Alright guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.